Hey everybody, Ira Miller here with Monday Night Live, Homes Around the Villages YouTube channel, and I want to thank everybody from joining us this evening. So, looks like Gary Winkle is number one. So Gary, you and Kathy, thanks for joining tonight. And then we have Kim and Mike, so I want to thank all of you all for joining us. As you can see, we're kind of in a little different room, a little different background, so we're in our conference room today, so if you can only see all the stuff in front of me, we got a lot. So we want to know, first of all, how the audio is. So if everybody can let me know if you can hear me well, that'd be good, and then we can go from there. We have a special guest tonight. We're going to get with her here shortly. Just want to talk a little bit about, well, last week I missed y'all, so had a little medical procedure last week, and with the holidays and everything, of course, I wouldn't get my results back yet, but that's all cool. So I'm sorry I missed you last week, because I wanted to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving before Thanksgiving, and now that's already come and gone. So time is just clocking by. Before we know it, Christmas, and then it's 2026. So, anyways, let me get to my chats here real quick. So like I said, I saw that Gary and Kathy were here early, 5:22. That's cool. So Christian and Eduardo have been in here trying to get things all tweaked out, and then so hopefully we're good to go. Like I said, if my audio kind of goes out a little bit, let me know. I'll probably just need to lean into the microphone. I got this cool microphone. Make me an official blogger now these days. All right, so Kimberly and Mike, and I'm looking at, all right, so Rich is telling me, where did Rich go? I saw, did I pass him up? Oh no, 34 degrees. Wow. Well, I guess it was like probably 74, 75, a little cloudy here. I think we're going to get part of everything you guys are experiencing down here in a cold front. So we're supposed to, I guess, rain tomorrow. Let me see what my weather looks like. All right, so it's kind of sprinkling on and off all day today, and I didn't know that we were gonna, oh yeah, so I'm seeing a little bit of clouds, a little bit of rain passing by, so it's really supposed to rain a little bit harder. I think it's 60% tomorrow. But anyways, 68 degrees now that the sun's gone down. Well, this says Volusia County. We're not in Volusia. We are, whoops. Oh no. Volusia is Daytona. Daytona Beach, so that's right on the beach. Okay. So anyways, what I did miss, I missed everybody on Friday and Saturday too. I was talking to Jace, so I guess thankfully Saturday was not a thing, because over at Cody's he was telling me it was waiting room only, and so many people were trying to get in because there's so many people down here, I guess, for the holiday, for Thanksgiving, coming to visit the villages. And but it was my intention of what happened Friday. Because I was supposed to, it was either Friday at World of Beer or Cody's on Saturday, and I missed both of them. I know Saturday was the big rivalry game, so Florida versus Florida State, that's always big. And so I had to support my daughter. And so Saturday was just football night. All right, let's see. So Pat and Jane, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. And we have Leon Schultz. Excuse me. Better get some water here. And then Darian. Gary's always giving us a breakdown. Gary Winkle is always giving us a breakdown of when he's going to be here. So now he says it's looking like spring or summer of 2027. Thank you. So this will help get me situated here. Oh, is there an echo?
That's what we're fixing.
Wonder why we have an echo.
The other mic. By adjusting the sound volumes.
All right. Yeah, because we have another mic sitting over here, so it's probably picking up both mics. We need to go ahead and get Katina ready to go too on that mic. So, all right. So tonight we have a fantastic guest. I've had her on here, oh gosh, probably a couple of years ago. So I'm like, man, we got to get Katina back on here. She is our estate planner specialist, and she is a licensed attorney. And so I think, why don't we go ahead and bring her on? You ready to go? We need to get.
Just clip it in.
Just put it on there, okay?
Yep. And then you'll set.
Okay.
There we go. How's that? All right, everybody. Katina Pantazis.
Hello.
And I'm going to show you real quick her website. So, Estates and Trust. And so Katina's going to talk a little bit about her office and what they do and answer any questions. So all of our questions will be over on there. So we'll see. And I got done my little thing here. All right, so without further ado, Katina, thank you for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. And so, if you all have any questions about estate planning, the first thing I want to let you know, a lot of people when they come to buy a home here in the villages, they'll put it in their trust. But if you have a trust up north, it's not valid down here, right?
It's valid. It's just that there are certain requirements that the Florida Trust Code has that are different than other states. So if you have an out-of-state trust or out-of-state will or any sort of estate planning documents, you do want them to be reviewed to make sure that all of the information that is included in there are up to date with Florida Trust Code and the Florida statutes for wills, power of attorneys, all that stuff.
So we kind of have some different rules sometimes here in Florida.
Yes, Florida's quirky. We have a lot of different rules.
And they change all the time.
They do change quite often, yes.
So we need to stay up to date, right? So the first thing, so what should people, if they have a trust, and that might have been part of the echo issue. If they have a trust, what do they need to bring down here with them, if anything, if they want to meet with you? No. A lot of Katina's business is virtual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically if you have out-of-state documents that you want to see are sufficient for the state of Florida, we would just need to review those documents. So we can do that. You can send it to us via email, through our portal, however you want, and we'd review it, see what it has in it, and if it needs to be updated. Usually Florida trusts need to be updated to the Florida Trust Code, so you have to add provisions to update it. Sometimes, though, people don't even fund their out-of-state trust, so it makes sense to just leave that trust empty because you don't want any of the tax complications to follow from other states and create a Florida trust if you're wanting to avoid probate on a house or a rental property or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And also, we don't have a state income tax here.
Right.
So if you're in a state that has a state income tax, that might cause you a little issues, or a few little issues as well within your trust. So you might want to, like you said, just leave that empty and come down here and just formulate a new one.
Right. So we also don't have estate taxes either. So Florida is a great place to move to retire or even work, because like you said, there's no income tax here, and you don't even realize how much is getting taken out of your paycheck until you come to a state that doesn't have income tax. So
all of a sudden you have a pay raise.
exactly.
Just by making a move. And by the way, so you have a portal that's secure.
Yes, encrypted, secure. All information can be sent there to us. And the reason that we have it is for people to provide documents to us, for us to provide, information to them, social security numbers, anything that is private that you really don't want, people to be able to look in on and see. That's what our portal's for, is for information that you want to keep private and for us to review.
And so tell us a little bit more about the virtual, because they could probably meet with you before they even come down here, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So what our virtual law firm does is we meet via video or telephone, and you can do it in the privacy of your home, if you're on vacation, if you're out of the country, just out of the state, whatever the case may be. You do not have to come into an office and meet with us. We can do it all via video or telephone.
So all this came about during the pandemic, right?
It did, yeah.
And you said it comes on a secure transmission. What was that called?
Encrypted.
VOI?
Oh, the VoIP. Voice over
VoIP.
Internet Protocol is our system,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what's a VoIP? So
Voice over Internet Protocol.
over Internet Protocol. Okay, so.
Ring Central.
Yeah.
And so all that is protected, encrypted. No one can get, listen in. So if you're worried a little bit about, privacy and all that, it's all secure. So
Yes.
your portal's secure, your VoIP is secure, and so you can just rest assured that. But it would behoove you to, especially if you're going to come down here, buy a home and put it in your trust, right?
A trust will avoid probate, yes. So if that's one of the main things that you're concerned about, then it's a good probate avoidance tool.
That's awesome. And I know I keep saying I'm going to come see you. And I don't even want to continue to admit I have no will. All these years later, no trust, no nothing. I'm kind of hanging out there.
I mean, that
I better-
happens. We all get busy.
Yeah. And before you know it, it's 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So I have got to get in to see her. And I told her last time she was here, I promise I'll get in. And we have yet to get in. Any kind of idea about the cost to make a trust for somebody?
So, yeah, and what we do is we do packages. So if you're doing a revocable living trust, a will, advance directives, if you're a couple, typically that starts around $4,500. If you're an individual, it starts around $3,500. If you decide not to do a trust and you're doing, just wills, then that starts for a couple, around about $3,100, and for an individual, $2,100. But again, it's very specific to what you need, your, family, your goals, all that stuff is very specific as to how we write the trust and complete it based on what your specific wishes and goals are and how you want things distributed.
Great. So protect yourself and you want to just gather all the information that you need. So any other suggestions about what people should bring with them when they come down here?
We would just need to see estate planning documents. So anything that you wrote with an attorney, and especially, actually, I'm glad you asked that, because sometimes people create prenuptial agreements or postnuptial agreements that are out of state. Those need to be updated to the state of Florida too. Florida has its own statute that governs that. So that would be updated, and then your estate planning documents would incorporate that into your trust or will, however you want to create it.
Yeah, so pretty much anything you have going on, wherever you are, you probably just need to revise and probably start anew. I think that would probably be less encumbrance if you just start anew, you know, and just rather than trying to take what they have and tweak that, and probably just start fresh. And
Sometimes that is a lot easier. It just depends on if you already have assets titled in a trust. Then it can get more complicated if you're trying to start new, because you got to take those assets out of the old trust, put them into the new trust. And I mean, you know, life happens. We forget sometimes what we've got, and so it's hard to make sure we don't forget or let something fall through the cracks, so to speak, in our estate plan.
okay. So then definitely you want to send it to you so you can see, well, we need to take this and take that, and might be able to leave stuff behind too out of that trust, and
Yeah.
since it's from another state,
Yeah.
different rules. All right, so we have, while we're on the air here, let me, Christian, if you're at the helm over here, you're going to have to hit some buttons for me. So let's talk about your website a little bit. We're going to go to that. This is your website. Hold on, let's see. Can I do a mini-me? There you go. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to tell you what we're going to do here. I'm going to let you go through your website and maybe talk a little bit about what we're seeing. So we're on this pin. Let me get you up in there. Sorry. Come on, where are we?
So that's on the little one.
I just saw.
There we
Oh,
are.
there it is.
Okay. Well, I'll move it over. Here we go. This is, all right, that's for you.
Okay. So basically on our website, this is our landing page. It just tells you a little bit about us, what our practice areas are. And you can find a lot of information here. So whether you're looking for estate planning, you know, what are some of the specific documents that you need in order to plan your estate. You got your will, you got a revocable living trust, you've got advanced directives. It kind of gives you information as to what all those documents are. And then we also have on here information about, you know, when somebody passes away, there might need to be a trust administration, which is when you administer a trust, or there might be a probate. So if somebody has assets in their individual name and they don't have a beneficiary, or it's not in a trust, then maybe a probate might be needed. And so this kind of tells you, you know, why you would need a Florida probate attorney. It goes through all the different assets that may make probate necessary for you to have. And then of course we've got our blog. So if we go over to our blog, you can see it's by category. So if there's a specific thing you want to look at, that's perfectly fine. Or you can go through and see if there's anything that piques your interest that you want to learn a little bit about. And you can of course always give us a call and schedule a consultation. Our number is 352-600-2987, and we do provide complimentary consultations. So if you have any questions, we're happy to help.
Excellent. Now probate, that's when you don't have a will?
It's when you don't have a will, or you do have a will, but you don't have a trust. So probate could be if, let's say that me and my sister own a piece of property and she passes away first. Now I own it 100%. Now I pass away. all right, now probate's needed because it's owned individually. So anything that is individually owned without beneficiaries is going to trigger a probate.
Do you represent people in court
We
for
do.
probates?
Yeah, so we get the personal representative, which is another word for executor, appointed by the court, and that's according to the will, obviously. If there is no will, then we do it according to Florida statute, you know, who's next in line to be able to serve as the executor of that estate. We get them appointed, get the letters issued by the judge. So some things we hear sometimes is people will call in and they say, the bank says I need to get a letter from the judge. That really means we have to open a probate and we have to get letters of administration to get them qualified to have access to that account because that person is no longer alive.
I had a situation where one of the owners of a home had dementia, was mentally incapacitated. And so we were trying to sell one of their properties. Since it was in both their names, both of them are alive, although one was not mentally capable of really making any decisions. Is that triggered in a probate? Is there anything? So I think when we were trying to get the home sold, they were asking for a power of attorney.
Right.
And so when do we get a power of attorney involved?
So, well, there's two things about that. You want to be able to designate someone as your agent or as a power of attorney for you while you have capacity, because that's the only time you're able to do it, right?
Mhm.
So you want that document prepared now for the potential that you might not be able to manage your affairs in the future. Because in the future, if you're ever diagnosed with dementia or you become incapacitated for some reason, it's too late now to create that document.
Right.
So you want to create it while you have full capacity and name who you trust. That's another big thing, is this person that you name has full authority to deal with anything in your individual financial interest, right? So they could apply for loans, buy a house, sell a house, buy a car, sell a car, you know, withdraw all your money and run away to Europe if they wanted. There's no court supervision on a power of attorney. So you always want to make sure it's somebody you trust to manage your affairs.
There's nothing in a power of attorney that you can put in there to trigger. No.
So we
It's just
used to-
open-ended.
Yeah, so we used to
Wow.
have springing power of attorneys, which I think is what you're talking about, where it only springs into effect if you lack capacity.
Right.
Now, the Florida power of attorney is effective the moment you sign it, is the moment that it transfers power to the agent that you named. Now, they can only use it if you give them a copy. So I always tell people, don't give them a copy of your power of attorney, because why tempt somebody with that power, right?
Right.
But let them know, hey, if I ever need help, I've named you, so I'd like you to continue managing, you know, my affairs for me.
Cool. Yeah, that was one of the things, is that we could not find the original.
Yes, you need the original. A copy is just as good as the original, but the original is sometimes required by title companies.
Yes, and that's where the rub was that the title company is like, we need that, we need the original. And then since it wasn't their homestead, for some reason that made a difference. So they were saying, you know, so another reason why I got you here is because I'm in a situation now where the people we're talking about, one of them was mentally incapacitated. They did have power of attorney for each other, but they couldn't find the original, but they had a copy. But now that this is their homestead, is there a difference in authority and in validity for a power of attorney if it's just an investment home versus a homestead?
No, there shouldn't be, unless the power of attorney limits, you know, what the agent is allowed to have power over. So the power of attorney would have to be read, the document, to see what the agent is allowed to manage for that person, because they're not all the same.
And once that person passes, that power of attorney is done.
Right, it's null and void,
Okay.
no power whatsoever.
Okay. So, all right, well, that's good to know too. All these legal, technical things, you know, we have to defer to the expert for sure, and that's why I wanted to bring Katina on here this evening. And do we have anybody have any questions
That very last one.
Yeah, I can't read.
in Mass? Can you, let's see, not here. Jane, in Mass, you can specify what can be done. Let me get this out of the way. Hold on. What can be done in a POA? So not so in Florida?
You can absolutely specify what powers you want to grant your agent. So you could limit it to just, bank accounts. You could limit it to only personal property. You could limit it so they don't have authority over real estate. It's up to you how much you want to limit it. It's just what we were previously discussing was it no longer springs into effect, meaning there isn't at incapacity that's when it springs into effect. Now it's effective the moment you sign it. So that's the big difference in Florida as opposed to other states. Some other states might have springing powers of attorney, but you can definitely limit it to whatever you want.
Okay, all right, good. So it's just not a blanket power of attorney, they can do whatever they want.
Right, you can do it that way too, but most people like to have some sort of limit.
Yeah,
to that
exactly.
power.
Some guardrails in there. All right, excellent. So that was Jane. So Jane, thank you for that. So Gary's saying that's why I moved to Florida from Maryland, to get away from the state income tax, as a lot of people do. And a lot of people, even if it's a second home, right? A lot of people will declare this home as their homestead, as their permanent residence, and maybe the home up north is now their second home.
Yeah.
So you can take advantage of the tax laws here. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, so Florida, we actually protect your homestead in our Constitution. So no creditors are allowed to lien against your homestead. So for instance, up north sometimes nursing homes and other care facilities are able to place a lien against your house. Not so in Florida. So we're very unique in that aspect. Some people say that's why O.J. Simpson decided to move here.
Exactly who I was thinking of, yep.
So we do have some very protective homestead laws.
Yeah, that's good. So, yeah, really Florida is a great place to live as far as being protected when you live here. But there's a lot involved there. Let's see what I got. Oh, do I have? Oh, I'm on here on that screen. All right, cool. Let's see. Got to get rid of that echo. What's the deal with that echo?
It's the second mic. I'll just have to turn it off. Since this one's running through the ATEM versus the camera for the main mic.
Oh, her mic's running through the ATEM, and that's conflicting with my mic.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why the last session we had them all running through the main camera. When we had the lapels.
I forgot our Bluetooth wireless, so we're kind of operating on wired technology, ancient technology. All right, so that's great information. And then Katina, you can meet with her in an office setting, right? If you want to meet personally, one-on-one, rather than just virtually.
Yes, absolutely. So we do have offices in Ocala and the villages. We're happy to meet face-to-face. It's up to you as to whether you want virtual, telephone, or face-to-face.
Cool. Virtual versus, just telephone. It wouldn't be like a video conference call.
It would be. Virtual would be like a video chat. So you would see me, I would see you, and you get to see the two pictures.
On the telephone? I'll talk about the telephone. So the telephone, you said in person, telephone,
Or
or
virtual.
virtual. So on telephones, there's no video.
Right, just on
Gotcha.
just audio.
Gotcha. All right, so did you put her information in the chat?
I will, when we go outside, or go back to the website, we can go to contact us, just to show it all.
Oh, yeah. Right here.
There we go.
Scroll down.
All right, so that's cool. So you can put your name in there, subject, email address, and then submit that. And then you get that directly,
We do, yeah. Any questions, we'd be happy to answer.
and then you'll contact them. And if they want to talk to you, all they have to do is just ask you to call, or they can just call you from that 352-600-2987.
Either way, you can drop us a message, stating what it is that you'd like to discuss, or you can give us a call and we'll get you on the calendar.
Okay. And I see you're on Facebook, X,
We are.
Instagram.
Yeah, it's hard for me to see from here. I don't know why, but yeah, Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube.
Cool. Oh, YouTube. All right.
Yep, we've got some videos up there, and we do try to post on social media every week, so keep an eye out for that.
Maybe we'll have to put a link on our YouTube page for people to be able to get in touch with you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that, absolutely.
Okay. So we do have on our website. Where's our website?
The first half.
Okay. First one up in the left corner.
And your
I'll
this
get ya.
computer one.
Oh. So what we'll do is over here, our YouTube channels, if that's okay with Katina, we can add her in there. That'll go right to her YouTube channel. And then, can we take a look at that?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see.
If you search for me.
I have YouTube already up on the second one.
And then
Search there.
It'd be E Estates and Trusts.
E
E
dash
Estates.
estates.
It should pop up after. And Trusts. Or try just E Estates. It might pop up with that if you search that.
Let's
Your
see.
mouse.
Cinema? Okay. This is
That's definitely not it. There we are.
Right
E
here.
Estates and Trust PLLC.
cool.
We might as well subscribe while we're on.
Boom. There you go. So that's what our YouTube channel looks like. And like ours, I'm sure there's a bunch of great information. Let's see our videos. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so you could either, and if you can't remember, just go ahead and go to our YouTube channel and we'll go ahead and put her in there. Well, that's our website, right? Yeah, that's our website. Our YouTube channel. Oops. I don't know if I'll be able to get back to mine.
Yeah, just forwarding. There you go.
Is that me? No, it's not me.
Has it? Just hit it and then enter. Or,
There we go. All right. Yep, that's great. We like to help out our partners, and we will go ahead and, we'll put you in our website for sure, which is here, which is, you can go to our YouTube channel. That's probably what I should have done, was just right to our YouTube channel and then hit YouTube. And we'll put you in our website. And where can we link her in our YouTube channel here, Christian?
go back up. So see where it says 7 more links?
Okay. All right, there you go. So either way, that way you guys know too. See, we learn something new every day. So we'll just go to here, go to 7 more links, and then we'll have Katina's website added to here as a convenience for you all. And just go ahead and give her a call, fill out. You can just fill out like we saw her, where are we? Back, where was her website?
Contact.
Okay. There we go. So drop her a message if you have any questions, and you'd be happy to answer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
There was another question though, related.
Oh, on this one?
Yes.
All right. So at what point is that?
Very long.
Okay. There we go. Okay, we live in Florida, but Mike works in Georgia, so he's still being taxed. At Georgia's,
That stinks.
so they can do that if you live in Florida, but you work in Georgia, you gotta pay Georgia taxes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a tax expert, but yep, I've seen that happen before.
And at what age or point, at what point in age or level of assets should a couple consider establishing a trust?
That's a really good question. We get that a lot. So a trust is an amazing probate avoidance tool, but you have to be good with paperwork. So it's really up to you as to if you want to create a trust as, a young professional. Once you've started to acquire assets, you've got to be really good at paperwork, make sure everything that you acquire is titled in the name of the trust and put into the trust. Because what we often see is people create this amazing vehicle to avoid probate, but as life happens, they forget that they need to keep adding the assets that they're accumulating into the trust. So now what we have is this awesome probate avoidance tool, but it only has like a couple assets, or it's empty and we forget about it, and all our other assets that we've accumulated are outside of the trust. So the answer to that question is it depends. It depends on if you're good at paperwork and good at, every couple of years following up, making sure that whatever you've accumulated, you have put into your trust, or created a plan for it. So a trust isn't the only way to avoid probate. Naming beneficiaries is another way to avoid probate. So like on brokerage accounts, bank accounts, stocks, anything like that, you can name beneficiaries to those accounts, and that also avoids probate. So it just depends on the person as to, when the right time is. It's not necessarily a level of assets.
So sometimes we have people, it's their second marriage, and each party has children. Do trusts, if you make is it advisable to make a trust with somebody who has other beneficiaries outside of, I guess, the marriage? Should each person have their own trust, or should you get a trust together? Are there stipulations? Who goes what where? How does that work?
Yeah, that's a complicated question. So it depends on the couple, but there are specific types of trusts that we create for couples who are in a blended marriage, where it's not children of the marriage. You each have your own set, or one spouse has a set and one doesn't. It's called a Q-tip trust, and you can look it up. Qualified Terminal Interest Property Trust, and it becomes irrevocable at the first spouse's passing. So the benefit of this type of trust is you never disinherit your kids, right? So you allow for certain assets and income to go to your spouse, but once your spouse passes, then you've got the rest set aside for your children, so they never get disinherited. The downside to this type of trust is the surviving spouse has to account to the ultimate beneficiaries, which are the kids. So each year, the surviving spouse is having to show what's been spent, what they've used of the trust, and some people don't like that. They don't like having to account to the kids of their deceased spouse as to what they've been doing. The other way around that is you can each have your own separate trust, and you would provide a certain amount for your spouse and then the remainder to your kids, or beneficiary designations to your kids and your spouse, but you do have to provide a certain amount according to Florida law for your spouse unless you have that prenup or postnup agreement.
That sounds like the better way to go to me, is have two separate trusts. That way everything is stipulated right inside that trust, and there's yours, ours.
Right. It does get complicated though when there are blended marriages, because you don't want to disinherit children, but you also want to provide for your spouse. So it's a very interesting balancing act that has to take place.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just kind of, I don't have that problem, but but I know I work with a lot of people who do. They come here and it's their second marriage, and they're creating a new life here in the villages, and but everybody's got their own separate beneficiaries, we'll say. All right. Well, I think, are we good to go? Yeah, I think hopefully that's really helped a lot of you all understand, or just to get, the thought started on what you should do, and what the best benefit would be, especially moving to Florida. We have a lot of different laws and requirements. So you don't want to just come in thinking that your estate's good. My estate in Michigan is good to go. I've got it already established up there, and then move to Florida and not even think anymore of it. You think it's still valid, and I guess it very well may be, but you still really need to kind of figure out if the same laws apply here that they do wherever you're from.
Right. You just want to make sure that your documents comply with Florida law. So sometimes we just have to update a little portion of your trust. Sometimes if it's empty, then it might be best to just have a Florida trust, especially if you're buying Florida real estate. It really just depends on your unique set of facts.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go.
All right.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
you
me.
coming in. Yep. We can't make it 2 years, though,
I know,
whatever
right?
it was. It's like a long time. So we'll keep having you come back in. Thanks, Katina.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
James says thank you as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. See you later. All right, so moving on. I hope that was a lot of good information for all of you. Don't just leave it up to, to chance, because you never know. Like I said, we're already dealing with what I'm dealing with one of the spouses, and having memory issues, dementia, and that's always a big concern. So get that will or POA or trust and get all that established. But that's going to help prevent a lot of problems. All right, so how come this mic is all the way down there? I can't move around here. It got me stuck in a corner. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll go ahead and get Katina's information in our chat. So who's going to do that?
I'm going to do it. I'm just setting you up on another angle.
So I'll just sit that over there because I don't know if I'll need that at all. All right. So hopefully the volume. Wait a minute, have we pulled the plug on this thing?
I did, yes.
Okay, so hopefully the volume is good now. It's different, and
Oh, yeah, you sound good.
we're good to go. So for the rest of the show, and by the way, Christmas tree trimming night tonight. So I'll probably be booking it out of here around 7:30, unless we have a good chat going on. Trish, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Yeah, again, I want to talk about, you know what? let's do this. Bring me the ATEM so I can kind of be the master of my own destiny here. Is that going to work?
Yeah, I'm just moving the laptop.
Because what I want to do is hit my, whoops.
4.
Okay, so I want to get on here. Anybody seen Jay Paris in the house? I haven't seen him. So I'm just trying to catch up with him now as it is. I guess I will need that. Yeah, I guess I will need that keyboard here. Thank you. Because maybe a lot of people coming down here, folks. We noticed the traffic is picking up. Jace was telling me how really crowded Cody's was really getting on Saturday night. You know, so yeah, I kind of avoid the entertainment venues. During the wintertime because you know, it's just not that intimate anymore when it's hard to get in the door. Okay, so boosters. So Jace is at the ribbon cutting grand reopening of Boosters at 5 p.m. That's where he is. So we probably won't see him here tonight. And actually, he invited me to the ribbon cutting grand reopening. And normally we would have probably have done a, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can't screw this up royally. There we go. And normally, we would have done a remote, except we had Katina set up, for at least a month. And I wanted to make sure that she got on and we didn't miss our opportunity to spend some time with her. So that's why we missed the ribbon cutting ceremony at Boosters in the Villages, Florida. Tomorrow night, Boosters again, ribbon cutting grand opening, day 2. Oh, wow. You know what? Maybe I'll have to talk to Christian because maybe we'll just video the event and put it on as our rock and roll restaurant review with Jace Gallagher as the entertainment. Then he jumps from Monday to Saturday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, private event, whatever that means. And then next Monday, he's killing me. Oh, that's only at 2 p.m. At Harry and the Natives. Maybe, let me grab my phone here. I'm going to put him on my calendar. Where are we? Calendar. There we go. Next, when is that? Next Monday. Oh, that's in 2 weeks. Wow. So my man is here for 2 weeks. Well, he'll still be here in 2 weeks. That's at 2 p.m. Harry and the Natives. Barring any other unforeseen circumstances, I will be there. So, what else we got going on here? So let's see. December 20th. So from Monday to Saturday, Tierra del Sol. That's a great venue. That's a real intimate venue. What's that say? 3 p.m. live under the palms at Tierra del Sol on a Saturday. That's cool. I like going there. Then Americanos, then World of Beer, Cody's Brownwood. All right, I am out of here on the 26th. You will not see me. When is the 26th? That's a Friday. So I will not be here on that Friday after Christmas, and I'll be gone for a whole week. So December 27th, I won't be around, and then he's going to be back up in Maryland. Yeah, in January, and then not back here until the 23rd, and rest of January. So that's Jace Gallagher's itinerary for the rest of the month here. And so, as I said, I'm going to try to make it to Boosters tomorrow. Let me see if that's at what? That's at 5 p.m. Tomorrow, the 2nd. I'll put that on my calendar. Boosters. You know, I hate to even admit this. I've never been to Boosters. So, let's see. Boosters at 5 p.m. So I'm going to see if I can't make that. And if anybody else feels like they want to make that, text me. By the way, I really would like to make this live stream live, people calling in and asking questions. So feel free to call me on my cell phone or the office. My phone rings either to the office or on my cell phone. Y'all know, y'all have all my information, right? So, yeah, feel free to give me a call. We can talk on the air. Maybe I'll get some pictures of everybody and put your face on there if you call me. Just saying. Okay, so what is going on here? You know, I think a lot of the chat was on this, on the sound. So hopefully all that's over and done with. So let me go. I'm going to go back up. And I'm just going to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Let's see. All right, so I have Darian hanging in there, Gary, Kimberly. Kim, did I say hey to you and Mike? If I didn't, there you go. I know Mike's on here. There he is. And we hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving as well. Man, I had an awesome Thanksgiving. So, I usually fry a turkey. And I will cook a ham. I've got a special way I do a ham, which I marinate in a special sauce, and then I'll cook it for like low temperatures for 3 or 4 hours. Turns out awesome. The turkey this year, I've heard about brining your turkey. Never heard about brining your turkey before. So I thought I'd try it. And then I'm like, well, what is brine? Let me go ahead and do all that. Basically salt and water, and some spices and herbs. So I went to the store, and I got this stuff called Everglades seasoning. I don't know if I can bring that up here. Let's see if it'll work for me. Everglades seasoning. Yes. Ingredients. Well, let's see what we got here. Everglades seasoning. This is what it looks like. And what I did was, I dumped the whole bottle into the bag. Now this is for two, right? 25 bucks. But I'm like, man, I used to use that stuff a long time ago. But it has a lot of salt in it, which is what you need for brine. What's going on with this? Kick that out of there. Everglades all-purpose seasoning signature blend of herbs and spices for bold stout. This stuff here, man, this is what I used. I marinated my turkey for 24 hours, and let's see. Does it tell you what's in it? Yeah, here you go. No. So you see the sodium content, but my daughter said, Dad, that was the most moist turkey you've ever cooked in the deep fryer, because I deep fry my turkeys. So I get that peanut oil cooking, and then I've marinated that turkey. I actually kind of shot it up with some of that marinade, that butter something marinade you can get. You can inject it into the turkey. So the thing brined for 24, maybe 36 hours. Then I injected it. Then I put it in that. Best turkey I ever had. Everybody was raving over it. So, anyways, so Thanksgiving, that was great. Then on Friday I had to work. So I was had to come in, put some fires out in some of my renovation projects, and kind of keep up with those, trying to keep up with my subcontractors. And so I don't remember what happened Friday night, ironically enough, where I couldn't meet anybody. But I was trying to get to the World of Beer. Where did I go?
Black Friday shopping?
Yeah, no. Dang, I can't believe it. I can't remember. So, Friday I know something happened. I don't know if we had to go get the Christmas tree or whatever, but you leaving me? Bye. See you tomorrow. Okay. Eduardo's leaving me, everybody.
I'm leaving you for good now.
There you go. See ya. Yeah, that's what we did. And then Saturday went to, oh gosh, you guys, the Crystal River, a place called, what was the name of that? I don't know if I should even do this, but I am going to do this.
The restaurant?
Yes. Because, I don't know about giving away my secret spots. Actually, check that picture out. Can you zoom in on this for me, Christian? So this is where I was in Crystal River. Hold up, okay. Maybe it's a motion photo. Oops. And then, whoops, hanging out on the water, watching the game. There's another, look at that sunset. This is what This is what living in Florida is all about, you guys. Hold up. Whoops, upside down. So I guess I took it this way this time. Look at that sunset. So we're right on the Gulf. Let me see here. Does it really? Oh. Let's see here. Let me. Can't find my photographs. Okay. Whoops, that's a. Okay. So, huh?
Oh, I was gonna just see if I could pull them up on your computer.
Pull what up?
If you had any more photos and stuff.
In here?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Nope, I just had those three. But what I am going to pull up is where I was. So, place called Waterfront Social. Let's see if it has any online presence. Well, the Waterfront Social, delicious food for sure. And if you go there, there's a little place, so you can go in there. But we actually, let me see if it has any pictures. Oh, let's go down here. Yep, great chicken wings. The Tiki Bar, that's where we were. This is, and if you look in the background, that's a picture of the Tiki Bar. That's inside the regular. But awesome, man, that place is great. The sunsets are fabulous. So it's just, this is old Florida on the water. It was great. So it's the last time you'll ever hear me talk about it, because I'm not giving it away to everybody anymore. But for you guys are special, so I told you about it. All right, Gary Winkle, we had a real good lunch at Boosters back in October on our lifestyle visit. Cool. Not a fan of brining, marinating, way better. I did both. So, yes, I fried that turkey up, that bad boy. Hello, racer girl. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to get through here. So what did you just about? What's happening in the real estate world? Market report. Is that what you're asking me, Renee? So Christian's got us set up here. And we're going to go to, let's see, here, yep, and here. So market report time. Let's see what's happening, 7 o'clock on the hour. Maybe I'll do that every Monday night at 7 o'clock for your market report. All right, so searching, quick. Now, generally, when the holidays hit, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, a lot of the real estate sales slow way down. Everybody's like sticking at home, hanging out, enjoying the holidays. So there you go. But let's see what's happening here. Active. There are 536 matches. Okay. So that's down, the inventory's down than what it had been. It had been up in the high fives. Now it's below 550, it's 536. And as I've always told everybody, historically, 550 has always been the number in the villages, but the villages has grown so much, I'm honestly really surprised to see it's not more like 650 being the norm. But 536, little low. So let's see what we're doing here. How many went pending in the last week? Those are homes that went under contract, right? In the last week, 24 sales went on last week. How about for the month? 132 matches. So 132 homes in the MLS sold in the villages here for the month of November. So let me try something here. This should be the month before, and that's not acting right. That can't be. Oh, well, that's only because it's only pending homes, not the total of what went pending. Those are the homes that are still pending. That's continues to be an issue, but we're going to go back to criteria. Here's the real deal. Sales. We're going to get out of pending. We can do that with this. So, based on 7 days, 23 homes closed. That kind of tells you a little bit about what 30 days prior is typically when contracts were written and homes closed 30 days later. So typically in this 0 to 7 day window, these homes went under contract 30 days ago, and they're just now closing in the last week, right? And we'll try 133 matches closed in the month of November for the last 30 days. And if we looked, pending in the last 30 days was 132. So very consistent, right? Very consistent with pending. Whoops. 0 to 30. 132 homes went pending in the last 30 days, whereas solds in the last 30 days, 133. Very, very consistent with October and November. All right. Okay, so let's go. Let me try this again. So 30 to 60 days, homes sold. 166 homes closed in October. So that's a little bit higher than the 133 that we saw closed in November. So as you can see, there were 34 homes less that sold in November from October. So that's why I said sales typically start going down in the wintertime. Well, in the season, in the holiday season, I should say. All right. What else do we want to know here? This typically is a 0 to 180 days is what we go. All right, so let's kind of go to solds, and let's look at how long those have been on the market. So if we slide over here, whoops, let me do something. Let me make it 100. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So if we slide, we can look and see really what the market's been doing. Here's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, sold for $179,250. So you can see all these are sold. This is a manufactured home on Jason Drive for 180. All right. And then this tells you cumulative days on the market, active days on the market. As you can see, home has been on the market for quite a while. That's a good indicator as to what home prices are doing and home sales are doing. Now, as we get here, where are we here? We're in the 60 and 70 range, and we're at 389. I'd say probably 400 and around I'd say 425 is probably average for the amount of homes. What the average price is for, not the average price, but median price for homes. You can see a lot of cash still, waiting on those interest rates to go down. But now we're getting a little bit higher over here. We're seeing, all right, we're in the 300s now. We're seeing a little more mix of conventional and cash, so that's good. A lot of times right now you can buy your mortgage down through origination points. And if you're doing that, you're going to get yourself a lower rate. And you're going to put yourself where rates are probably going to drop anyways, right? So just remember that. Keep that in mind. You can buy your rate down if you want to buy now. And if you're afraid of getting hit with a higher interest rate, buy that interest rate down. And then when the interest rate does finally go down, you're still going to have that interest rate that you bought down, and it's going to be at the same interest rate as probably what the Fed dropped it to in 6 months from now. All right, so let's see what else we can glean out of this. Anything else? Here's number 2. And these are the rest of 133. So here, homes, $1,450,000, $1,060,000. This one right here, this 950 on Infinity Run, as you all may have. Did we do a video on Infinity Run actually?
That got sold before we even scheduled it.
Yeah, it sold in 29 days, so it sold pretty quickly. So I was actually the listing agent and the selling agent on that home. This was, and I know I showed you this home a couple of times on some of my live streams. Look at that lot that this sat on. Pie-shaped lot. I mean, this home has everything. So, this was a great listing. All right. Anyways, that's market report. Average days on market. I'm going to go back one more time to check that out. And, oops, let's see. I need to go back here. Yeah. So how much were average? This $1,450,000. I bet that was a really nice home. That sold in 25 days. Mine sold in 29 days. That means probably not much of a price drop when they sell within 30 days. Let's take a look at this one for $1 million. Russell Loop, that's over in the Bridgeport at Lake Sumter. So, Williamsburg, how many? 2,879 square feet, living area, premier home. This is a premier home in the premier neighborhood of Bridgeport at Lake Sumter. Now, this is a shocking revelation to me. 1,450,000 and you don't even have a view. I'm shocked. Wow. And look at your lot. Not much, you can't even put a pool on that lot. That is super crazy. Am I seeing this right? I mean, nice home, but 1,450,000. It was listed at 1,589,000, 1,450,000. I tell you what, I gotta say, I'm shocked. That's all I can tell you. I just don't even understand how that's even possible for a home that's not even on the water. Or room for a pool. So this home's been renovated, new cabinets for sure. Looks like engineered wood flooring, but gosh, I mean, that's kind of.
What would you list it at if it was you?
That home, man, probably no more than 1,100,001 anyways. I mean, I know it's a 2,895 square feet living area premier home, but 1,000,001, I mean, I guess that just shows what I know. We're looking at, what is that, $551, let's say $552 a square foot, sold at $503 a square foot. It's pretty amazing, I have to say. Location is pretty cool. I mean, location, you're just right, you're walking distance to Lake Sumter Landing. And I guess, you got the money, you can, you can spend what you want, but this one, well, I'm not even gonna, here's a 1,129,000. I'm gonna look at the map. Get a little map view of this. And this backed up to Rainy Trail. Now they do have a wall back here for the traffic noise, but hey, I got to tell you, I would have done the comps, the comparable properties on this, right? So over here is Lake Sumter Landing, right here. So, but not to have a view and backed up to a road, pretty wild. I'm going to have to start fishing for some of these premier homes, I guess. And this has how many? 90? We're not going through all 90 pictures. We're going to go back to, and so that one sold for $1,060,000. Then mine for $950,000. Mine was $2,109. How many? So we're looking at $450 a square foot. Started at $999, sold it for $950. But that's a designer home. The other ones were premier homes. This one on Pickering Path, listed for $1,043,000, sold for $950, 21 days. So these higher priced homes, man, they're really going. Now this is on a preserve, so that's cool. And you have a pool. So now you're showing me value, right? You're showing me value. Oh, and a summer kitchen. So yeah, now, now you're talking about view, pool, value. I mean, I can justify, I can see that. But, oh, let me go back to this again real quick. That sold for $385. Wow, a square foot. Mine sold for $450. Okay. Yoder Drive, a 2016 home, listed for $849, 64 days on the market. So, interesting. So there is your market report for Monday, December 1st. Can you believe you guys were in December? Wow. Let me go to, let me move this a little bit. Let me go to my little chat room. Keep getting these. Man, I'm going to tell you what.
Is it just pop-ups?
Yeah. Are you guys experiencing the spam like I am? I mean, to me, oof, the spam is just getting out of hand. I get so much now on here as well as my cell phone. It's crazy.
Text messages for me.
Yeah, it's outrageous. You know, I'm thinking the way you got to get rid of those is you just have to change your phone number, right? You probably need to change your phone number every year, and then the spam people can't catch up to you.
I've had the same one since I got a phone.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. I've had this number forever. I always thought about changing it, but so many people now have my phone number, it's like, do I even dare?
Same thing with me. Mine used to be my mom's number, so my whole family just remembers it.
Yeah, it's been around for so long. But now the spammers have caught up, and you can't get rid of them. All right, volume. We talked to Jane about that. We live in Florida, Kimberly. Kim and Mike. Okay, so there you go. So wow, man. Not many people on the show tonight. I guess the holiday is, kind of affecting everybody. We got,
24 right now.
yeah, I see that. Total?
I have that in my room.
Okay. All right. Well, Gary, you wouldn't want less than 400,000. Glenn says, price is ridiculous. Person needs a reality check. I'll tell you what, that one for $1,450,000, that person needed a reality check. And also the other one backed up to a road for $1 million, what was it, 29 or something crazy. No pool. I mean, that's the whole thing. There's no view, no room for a pool. I guess location, right? I mean, if I showed you guys, hold up, let me just go back here real quick. I'm going to do this real quick for you. So, which I guess I already did. I've already done this. But anyways, we're going to do it again. Russell Loop and Hartford Path. So, Russell Loop. This is where Russell Loop is. Now, if it was on Lake Sumter or on this lake, okay, I can see what you're talking about. But here is Lake Sumter Landing. Like I said, you could literally walk to Lake Sumter Landing. And if you live here, I guarantee you, you're hearing the music from the gazebo right here. So there's your music gazebo, and there's your $1,450,000 home. So, like I said, location, right? So they say in real estate, Previous, what was previous? Hartford Path is a little bit further away. Not much, because over here is where Russell Loop was, and then here's Lake Sumter Landing. So people love Lake Sumter Landing. And I give you a lot of value for your money over here. You can see how large that preserve area is, right? And it was on the water, so you had the best of all the worlds. You had people so far away you couldn't even really see them. So, and Brownwood, hold up. Okay, Brownwood is right here. So there you go. If you're thinking about buying a home, I guess the secret is buy it near a square. I was going to talk tonight a little bit about where in the world would I live in the villages. And you guys would be shocked, because I would live at the very northernmost end of the villages. Highway 42, in this area. This would be me. Why? 2002, 2003 is when these homes were built. And so I could be close to Christian. Here's Lake Weir, and then we have Eaton's Beach over here on, wait a minute, Eaton's Beach is around here somewhere. I think it's here. Great Lake, but also, like I said, this is the Marion County section. You could see this faint line going across Marion County and then Sumter County. Mature landscaping. I love the landscaping. I love all the oak trees. It's really nice. Bonds are pretty much non-existent up here in Marion County. Very close to the Nancy Lopez Legacy Restaurant, which is right here. These are your hydro grid tennis courts. They got a great little bar and grill. This is a little secret spot. This little bar and grill up here, right outside of the Nancy Lopez Restaurant right here. Over, and you have your own shopping center up here on Mulberry. You have the Mulberry Rec Center up here, and first responders. This is the First Responders Recreation Center. No, that's a church. Sorry about that. First responders right here. Nice little pitch and putt. Man, look at that little pitch and putt course. Great swimming pool, rec center. You have over here, you have soccer field. I guess they have it set up. Also lawn bowling over here. Great. I mean, this was a great addition to the area. So, and here's to me is the best part, right? You're here in Marion County, you're here in the villages, and you want to get to Ocala. It's a lot quicker way to get to all the malls of Ocala, the car places. There's so much going on in Ocala. It's easy to get to Ocala. You have the World Equestrian Center up here. That's the World Equestrian Center right there. Let me see. Oh, yeah. This is the World Equestrian Center. This is where the horses parade around in, and this is the hotel. 5-star hotel at we call it WEC. So, yes, that's why I like, and I would live in the Marion County section of the Villages. And not only that, but also you're talking, let me tell you what, prices are awesome up here. So me, myself, and I would buy a home. I'd totally renovate it because the prices of homes, no bonds. I mean, there's a lot of advantages to living up here in this area. All right, let's see. Glenn says, guess anything goes in the Villages. Never understand the pricing on homes. You'll pay more for a home in the Villages, but you know what they talk about? They say it's all about what? The lifestyle. All right, so it's all about the lifestyle here in the Villages. You can't really get anything like the Villages. Golf cart access. 4 squares now: Eastport, Brownwood, Lake Sumter Landing, Spanish Springs. So all the recreation that they have here, golf cart accessibility anywhere you go. Ask Jace Gallagher. That dude loves his golf cart. Everywhere he goes, it's there. Fenced yard. Sonny, that's an excellent question. And for fenced yards, here's the deal. Admittingly, it's dated up there, 2002, 2003. There are no fenced yards except in the courtyard villas. And the courtyard villas are not anything like the courtyard villas down on the southern end of the Villages, because they really, the Villages developer, the Villages sales office really listened to the people finally and made all these different cabanas and haciendas and all the other names they have for courtyard villas with 2-car garages, 2.5-car garages. Verandas are in the southern part, but not in Marion County. So, yeah, specific, it's not for everybody. So we'll just say that. All right, so is Marion County the lowest tax base of all the counties in the Villages? So I would say it is because of the fact that you have lower maintenance fees and you have low, if not no bonds. And maintenance fees and bonds are part of your tax base on all your taxes in the Villages, whether it's Lake Sumter or Marion County. So depends if you take that into consideration. If you just say, okay, taxes are the highest in Lake County, then Marion County, then Sumter County, in the older part of Sumter County, because the newer part of Sumter County has the city of Wildwood taxes attached to it. So in the newer area, the millage rate is very close to what it is in Marion County. So the fact that there's no bond, or basically no bond. Okay, let me just tell you, if there is a bond, it's $2,500 for the most expensive bond in the Marion County section. So I'm going to, $2,500, you pay that off. So I'm going to say literally no bonds. So tax base, I would say, is very attractive up there, okay? All right. Okay, guys, 7:34. We're going to wrap it up tonight. I really appreciate everybody that joined us on this vacation holiday, extended holiday weekend on a Monday night. So we'll see you next Monday. Not really sure. Let me see. Next Monday is going to be the 8th. Let's see what's happening. Monday Night Live, I don't really see. We'll come up with something. We'll do a little video preview. We'll tell you what's coming up on Thursday. Okay. So we'll tell you what's coming up on Thursday, give you a little preview. If y'all have any suggestions, let me know now. Or you can call the office, text the office. 352-204-9026 is our office number. And you can call or text to that if you have any suggestions, if you'd like me to cover anything, I'm there. So this is what this show's all about. It's to inform you, help you. As you saw earlier, Katina with the trust and the wills and the probate and power of attorneys and all that. Reach out to her if you can, and I'll give you her. I'll give you hers one more time before we leave. Let's see here.
And I put it in the chat as well.
Christian said he put it in the chat. But, so you can get in touch with Katina Pantazis. Here's her blogs. Here's her home. Revolutionizing wills, trusts, and estates with you in mind. Schedule a free consultation. There it is. Estate planning, power of attorney, probate, living will, trust, last will and testament, designation of pre-need guardian, like we talked about, POAs, in the event that there's some medical issues. So there it is, designation of healthcare surrogate. So you want to contact them, highly recommended. No, wait a minute, let's check this out before we leave.
Hi, I am attorney Katina Pantazis.
And I'm attorney Rebecca Nichols. We are the founding partners of Estates and Trusts. Our law firm focuses on estate planning, wills, trusts, durable power of attorney, healthcare surrogates, living wills. We also focus on probate and trust administrations.
We've designed our firm with you in mind, revolutionizing and streamlining the practice of law so that you don't have to come into a brick and mortar building. You can meet with us via virtual consultations, via telephone communication, and meet with us privately in your client portal, where you can also access all documents that we prepare for you, e-sign, and do everything at the touch of your fingertips. We're excited to meet with you and work with you on this journey.
Contact our office for your complimentary consultation today.
There you go. All right. So with that, we're going to sign off this evening. And I want to thank you all for watching tonight's show. I appreciate it. Always appreciate it. Love you guys. And I hope to see you here next week. And like I said, if you have any topics you would like me to hit on, feel free. 352-204-9026. You don't even have to call. You could just text to that number as well. Thanks so much for watching. See you next Monday.